Hey, hi there! Welcome to another week of this clown from Bolton trying to get a sailboat all the way around the UK. If you're new to the channel, I set off from Portland in Dorset on my 4th ever day sailing to try and circumnavigate the UK clockwise, or technically circumcise it because I'm cutting the top off. You are joining me this week in Whitehills, which is in Scotland, and I'm heading from Whitehills to Peterhead to meet my old mate Aussie Dave. If you are here from the beginning, you might remember I went up the River Ouse to Lewis with him and nearly died. I'll probably cut that bit out. Anyway, here we go. Right, guys, I shall see you tomorrow, hopefully. I shall try. All good? Alas, we will not see them tomorrow. So Alistair and Adita stayed behind to have a friend over to visit. They're on a different schedule to me. Obviously they're sightseeing and chilling out, going around the country and stuff, whereas I'm just trying to smash it around. And unfortunately they never ever caught up again, so I haven't seen them since this day, so it's quite sad. I've missed them. Not my keel, is it? See you in Peterhead. So it's quite tight quarters getting in and out of here. You go through this little gap and around a 90-degree corner to the right, so we thought it'd be quite a calm evening. Alas, it was not. It was grim. Got virtually no sleep. I was utterly exhausted. We all were. It was a terrible night in there with the swell, but it is simply stunning. The water is just so crystal clear. It was 2 odd meters deep in the harbour, and you could just see the bottom like it was 2 inches deep. It was just incredible. I think that's a lifeboat station there, or an old lifeboat station or something. What a fantastic place to live when it's sunny like this. Obviously when it's grey and actual Scottish weather, it's probably not as good. We're coming up to the posts on the left hand side. You can see the concrete at the bottom there. In fact, you can see the bottom of the sea just off to my port side there. So the post with the concrete at the bottom, if the water is at the bottom of the post, you have 1.7 metres or 1.8 metres. If it's above it, you got 2 metres. So basically I'm a couple of 100 mil off the bottom in this channel at the moment, already in shallowest point I was. Yeah, it's a pretty epic place actually. Probably put a chart up. And that's that. We do some faffery and we get on our way. Right, so little short stop in Whitehills. Horrible night, as I probably explained while I was departing. Beautiful little place though. Excuse me. The water is so clear, honestly, which is disconcerting when you're leaving with a couple of 100 mil under your keel, and and it looks like the water is like the seabed is sort of 2 foot below your waterline. But yeah, all good. We're out heading to Peterhead. Just avoiding a little fishing guy and a little with his pots and two massive cargo vessels of some description, possibly tankers, possibly at anchor, but I'm going to go around the stern of that one, I think. Probably going to go around the stern of the fishing vessel because we'll lift that pot and then scoot to the next one, which is where I'll be by that time. So that's the plan. Get to Peterhead, see my old mate Dave, who I met in New Haven. That'll be nice, spending a couple of days with him. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get the sail up in a minute. There is a bit of a breeze, not really much, but enough to warrant a sail up, I think. I just need some sea room to do it and not to be surrounded by fishing boats, so yeah. I've made an executive decision to have a lazy day because I got so little sleep last night. I think there might just be enough wind to sail under full sail, but there's not a lot. So I've just put the headsail out. I'm not going to mess about with the main. Either way, I'm going to leave. I needed to leave the engine running, so what's the point in messing with the main? I'm doing between 5 and 6 knots, which is bang on speed, and I think where am I on? A rising tide. I've got tide against me at the minute, so yeah, so my speed will increase. That'll get me around the headland near Peterhead before the strong tidal streams turn against me there, so in theory. So yeah, chilled out day today. I'll probably put yesterday's video and today's video in one, but you'll probably know that already. Yeah, so with the headsail, just basically I have telltales lower and higher. Effectively I just put the headsail out, sheet it in until the telltales are flying, then it's doing something. It's an aerofoil, so yeah, it's difficult sometimes to get the top ones flying because the sail opens out at the top. I'm not quite sure how to rectify that actually. I might consult the all-knowing DCW about that. I might give him a bell later. Yeah, nice day today, chilled out, no swell, the wind's coming from the landward side, so no fetch. Just a glorious champagne day, hopefully. Right, catch up with you in a bit when no doubt everything's gone wrong. I'm having a great time. Doing anywhere between 5.5 and 7 knots. Engine's just ticking over to keep the tiller pilot going. It's glorious out here. I do foresee a problem in that I've been making my turn south today, the first turn south. But when I do that, the wind is going to be on the nose and the tide is going to be behind me, so I'm going to have wind against tide around Peterhead. We'll see how it goes. My ETA at the minute is between 15:30 and 15:15. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. That could be interesting. I'll be directly into the wind, and it's quite a powerful tide. It's like nearly 2 knots. We'll see how it goes. There'll be a way around it. I can just hang around for slack water, probably, hopefully. We'll see. Alright, I'm just approaching Fraserburgh. I'm right at the limits of the headsail now. I'm sheeted right in, if you can see it there. And I'm just teetering on the edge of how close to the wind I can get. However, what I need to do in a minute, you'll not be able to see it, is make about a 20-degree turn into the wind, which is just going to put me right in the old no sail zone. So unfortunately it's not even worth having the main up, although I might do, we'll see. But once I'm making like 7 knots 7.3 knots. So I'm going to carry on making 7.3 knots in this direction a little bit more before I make the turn, and then the speed will come down then. But it is what it is. We've broke its back. We're 17 miles, so we're more than halfway. ETA says 1500, but I think it'll be more like 1600 once we slow down. So yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, it's been glorious. Quite a few fishing vessels in and around. Yeah, it's been beautiful. I'd say I'm hand steering. I'm arse steering. Yeah, I can keep it closer to the wind than the autopilot can, so that's my plan for a little while. Yeah, looking forward to getting there, seeing Dave, doing some video editing unfortunately, but there we go. You know when I said it'd be crap when I turned the corner? It's crap now that I've turned the corner. Directly head into the wind, and the wind just shot up out of nowhere. Tried to get the headsail in, and the lazy sheet has got tangled all around the thing. I got the headsail in fine. It's just annoying. The waves are starting to stack up. It'll look flat calm to you, it always does. There are loads of pots, but they're very difficult to see because you won't be able to tell really, but there's loads of like little white caps and stuff. So they're really difficult to see. Yeah, it's not too bad actually, just a bit of chop. It's quite a strong bit of tide here that's going to increase. We're doing 5.3 through the water. If I didn't have the tide, I know in this sea state I'd be down to 3 knots, so it's probably the best part of, I bet there's a knot and a half of tide, but that's why it's so rough, because it's wind over tide, you see. But it shall be reached. Get there about 4 o'clock as originally predicted. The wind is supposed to drop right off here. There's supposed to be a big area of high pressure that moved along and came to here right about now. Unfortunately, thought that was going to be a big one. Unfortunately, that transpires to have been bullshit. Like every other weather forecast I have ever looked at in my life. Yep, so that's that. Right, just keep ploughing into this now. See when we get there. It's annoying because I can't really relax or go down below because the pots are just flipping up out of nowhere. Right. No one ever said it'd be easy. Hello, bird. Those birds keep following me around. They've got massive wings and sort of a slightly yellowish neck. It's the curry house bird. I just realised I'm heading south. I'm technically homeward bound. Or south-ish. Southeast. It's crap. The wind has abated slightly, but I'm down to 4 knots. I'm sort of trying to keep into the coast a little bit to avoid the worst of the weather. Most of the tide is out there, so I'm sort of trying to balance between a little bit of tide, but if I go out there it's more wind against tide, so it's rougher. If I come in here, it'll be slightly calmer I assume, however there'll be 0 tide in my favour anyway. So, I don't know, it's now saying 4:15. It's going to be an extra hour and a half on the water. Oh, I had it in my head I was being done at 3 o'clock. But it is what it is. The sun's out. Hopefully this wind will die off and I'll end up with some flat seas and I can make some ground, but we'll see. gorgeous. Cool. Don't know if you can see the lighthouse somewhere. So behind that I can see, I don't think you'll be able to see, Peterhead. So effectively, now that the lighthouse is that way of Peterhead, I know that I can start making a turn south. However, there is a sandbank that extends out for a little while after the lighthouse, so I'm going to give it 5 minutes and then turn on to course for Peterhead. The wind has died down a bit, as it was supposed to, but not nearly enough. It's still grim. Just a little short chop, it's nothing, no big deal. It's just enough to slow the boat, which is frustrating. Yeah, I'm just looking at the angle. Maybe I'll be able to get the sail back up. But, oh, no, I won't, because the wind's turned around that way. I want to not happen. Right, I'll make the turn. I'll probably just show you me coming into Peterhead if nothing of any interest happens. Beautiful sunshine though. Lovely. If you are a sailor, then you will know that the last 2 hours of a journey always take 3 hours. And those 3 hours feel like they take 5 hours. And that's the situation I'm in. It's like Groundhog Minute. Peterhead is just here. I'm maybe, well, I can tell you, I'm 27 minutes away. I slowed down to like 3.5 knots, so I got to like 4 miles away and it was an hour away, and then the next minute it was an hour and a half away. I'm like, oh, why? Yeah, but sea's calm right down. It's quite pleasant. I'm on channel 14 on this radio, so I'm just monitoring the port traffic, and then I'll call them up when I'm a few minutes out. Everybody's been being let in so far. I don't see anything on marine traffic that's moving inside the harbour, so yeah, should be able to get straight in, get alongside, and maybe, just maybe, have a pint. Nice day though, it's not been too bad. I'm impatient, that's my problem. When I'm within sight of somewhere, I want to be there. But yeah. Let's see you in the dock, shall we? Peterhead Harbour, sailing vessel Jeannie Stewart. Over.
Good, Harbour.
Good afternoon, sir. Permission inbound in approximately 10 minutes for the inner marina. Over.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. You keep coming.
Thank you very much, sir. Alright, so here is the entrance to Peterhead Harbour. I'm currently sat in the middle of approximately 2.5 metre swells, but no wind, so it looks completely glass calm. There's just these massive swells rolling in. Welcome to the North Sea. It's quite fun. Yeah. I was doing 5 knots, now I'm down to 3 knots. I don't know. There must be these weird counter currents and stuff. It is actually on the chart, but I couldn't be bothered going around it, so it is what it is. Yeah, I'll fire up the 360 when we go through the entrance, and then just leave that on until I'm parked up and snug as a bug in a rug. Yeah, I wonder if it will come through on the thing. No, you can't. You can never tell, can you? place, nearly knocking me off my feet every 5 seconds, but it looks completely flat calm. Hey, well, inward bound. I can see the gap in the breakwaters now. Lovely jubbly. And there we go for another week. Next week we are going from Peterhead to Stonehaven, which was an interesting one because you come alongside on a big harbour wall which is tidal, so you need to have long spring lines to allow the boat to go up and down with the tide instead of constantly adjusting them. So that was something new, and that is something you will see next week. So thank you very much for watching, and all I will say is goodbye.